I'm super excited about today's video. Today we're making these bad boys, these sweet potato biscuits. The recipe is courtesy of a spicyperspective.com, so let's get baking. You need to grate a stick and a half of butter. I did not have a regular grater, but next time I will use one instead of this. This wasn't terrible to use, but it was definitely a bit of a pain in the butt. You want to put the butter in the freezer while you work on the rest of the dough. Now combine 3 3/4 cup flour, 1/4 cup of cornstarch, 1/4 cup of sugar, and that's 2 tablespoons of baking powder, 1.5 teaspoons of baking soda, and 2 teaspoons of salt. Whisk until fully combined. Next, you want to add 1.5 cups of mashed chilled sweet potato. The directions didn't really specify how to combine, so I just used my hands until they're really well incorporated and crumbly. Then add 1 cup of buttermilk. I started stirring with a spoon until it was a little combined, and then I went ahead and used my hands for the rest. I felt that was a lot easier just to get a feel for the dough and make sure that all the flour was really absorbed into the dough. Now you want to add the grated butter back into the dough. I used a pastry cutter to combine this. The directions say to stir it. I don't know how much you could have really gotten done by stirring it. I felt the pastry cutter was the best way to evenly distribute the butter throughout the dough. Now you want to dump the dough into a lightly floured surface to start rolling it out. The directions say to roll this out to about 1 inch thick. I did about 3/4 of an inch thick. I was afraid I was going to lose some dough and not have enough biscuits to go around. Once you've reached 3/4 of an inch thick, this is when you're going to want to go ahead and fold things over in thirds. This is called laminating. This is how you're going to get those really beautiful buttery layers in the biscuits. I'm going to roll this out lengthwise, and then I'm going to turn it over and do one more fold. That'll be the final fold. Then I'm going to roll the dough out into as best of a square as I can get and go ahead and start cutting my biscuits. It's okay if it's a little uneven. You can go ahead and fix the edges as you go. But again, I went for 3/4 of an inch thick. And remember, you want to work fairly quickly with very little contact to your hands because you do not want that butter to melt. I used a 3-inch pastry ring to make the holes. I mean, you could use bigger ones if you want. You could use smaller ones if you want. It's really kind of up to you at this point, but you want to use some kind of mold to cut these out. Now I'm going to put this batch in the freezer so the butter doesn't melt while I'm working on the rest of the biscuits. Again, you want to work quickly. I'm trying to not touch the dough as much as possible, even though it looks like I am. I just don't want that butter to melt. The last 2 biscuits didn't look perfect because of that reason. Now some melted butter. You want to go ahead and baste your biscuits before they go in so they get that beautifully golden brown color. Then into the oven for 8 to 10 minutes. And that's the color you're looking for. Just golden brown and beautiful. Look at those layers. These seriously came out so perfect. I've actually never made biscuits before, so I was so excited when they came out perfect like this. Look at the steam just coming out of that. You can't not put butter on at this moment. I just didn't have the patience. I had to try one out. Holy. Oh my God. This is legit. This recipe is great. I highly recommend it. I will put the link in the description. Holy. And look at the layers there. They just peel. It's buttery, it's soft, it's flaky, it's light. It is just delicious. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Please hit that subscribe button, please like the video, and keep cooking.